Racial healing in Selma is coming in the form of economic justice. From outside investment,
I have the privilege of opening a second location right at the foot of the bridge.
And from within.
We want to serve as a hub, an opportunity for the citizens here.
But what is it going to take to actually make tourists stay?
Don't come here and go to Montgomery. No, stay here and sell.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in Montgomery.
Right. Some are looking outside of the box and beyond the bridge. Joe's farm feels like a world away from the bustle of downtown Selma. Chris Joe is trying to change that with nature and birding tours.
Good morning. Y'all ready to go? Yes. Everybody see the woodpeckers?
There's some going up there. They're still fighting.
So Chris, we're walking on your family's land. Why is it important for you to be able to bring tourists onto this place that I'm sure is so special to you?
To us, it's one of those things that you never know how you would react to having land in your lap. A lot of people don't have land that they can say their family's been on it for generations. And now me being third generation and then adding this ecotourism component to the land that we already utilized for cattle, and that now I'm getting people from all over the country to come and show them what we've been on our whole lives. I've been a little kid walking these woods and with my siblings, and now we're getting, you know, special visitors. We're always seeing something. So like how this is a very fluid thing. So
these are all baby crawfish.
And this is why you come down here, because you never know what you're gonna see.
Really? Yeah, she's hungry.
All right.
Yeah, so watch your step along the trail.
Yeah, there's probably more than one.
What are the demographics of the people that make up your tours?
This is something that we're looking at, how we can kind of be a change agent for bringing a more diverse group. When we first started, it was pretty much everybody was a white female, middle age to retirement age. And now, as we've been being more active on social media, Black Birders Week was one of the things that was started by a Black STEM group, and they organized some of those kind of meet and greets for Black birders, because a lot of times a lot of people don't feel comfortable going to certain places, because some parks you may encounter somebody that may not be comfortable with somebody else out there. And I've had some people tell me that, and they were like, Chris, we come here, we feel welcome. We don't feel like nobody's going to harm us or do anything to us, and they just have fun.
This is the Black Belt of Alabama, named for its rich soil. By the mid-1800s, agriculture made this area one of the richest in the country, with enslaved people at the core of its labor force. The farming industry eventually declined, leaving a void of jobs and other opportunities.
That's the thing that plagues a lot of the high poverty areas, and we're in the Black Belt, and that's a high poverty area. So trying to show people there's other ways to kind of make the economy, bring the economy up by having people do tourism or do another business, and that brings more money into the area, and that kind of builds it up. You know, hopefully other people can kind of catch hold and make more opportunities for other people. Even if they might not be in the ownership position, they may be support.
Six 6% of farmers and ranchers in Alabama are Black. That's a rate higher than most states, according to the USDA.
Hey girls, y'all looking for some food? Yep. We'll give them some feed here in a minute. to me and my siblings, it's very important that we keep this together and keep it how we're doing it.
And causing generational wealth.
And causing generational wealth, because that was the thing. My dad was a agriculture teacher. I worked for a Department of Ag myself, and having a career and you're making good money, yes, but you still want to have something to where you can pass land down or pass something down to the next generation, to where it gives them a leg up instead of everybody starting at the bottom all the time. How about let's get here and then let's start stair-stepping. My future vision for my nieces and my nephew and my daughter and the next generation that's coming, and like Summer, she was on the tour today, so something's being planted in her brain to where, hey, I saw Dad doing this. And so you never know the next thing that may come out of this. I want to be an open book, a learning canvas. Hey, let's just learn, and that will lead you into a direction you may not even know of.
Back in Selma, the community is learning from each other.
Thank you all for coming out to another gathering of stakeholders like ourselves who are focused on tourism in our community.
This is my first time in Selma, but it's a very lovely city with so much history and culture. You all mentioned how important the history is part of Selma. Do you think that is enough to attract tourists?
I grew up here, so I remember the beautiful Selma. Mm-hmm. I remember the Selma without the holes and cracks in the sidewalks and in the streets. I remember beautiful downtown Selma. So I think tourism is the key to our success.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
there's so much more to Selma beyond that bridge and making it sustainable tourism. And when we use that term sustainable tourism, we're talking about making sure that local folks are engaged. But what we also want to do is to make sure that we're securing a future for our next generation by incorporating them into what we're doing.
And that's what it's going to take for tourism and here for people to come together and say, we have a vested interest, let's see how we can work together.
You all talked about the economic impact in Selma, but do you think tourism will provide enough jobs for the people in Selma?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got openings right now in the industry and hospitality and food service, and I get phone calls every day, can you make a referral? And it's definitely demand.
And I am co-owner of the Queen City Kill. We are a full-service restaurant, not only offering food to our tourists that come and the citizens of Selma, but we want to serve as a hub, an opportunity for the citizens here. Whether it's jobs, whether it's training, whether it's just motivating the next person.
I don't mind saying I am 74 years old.
All right.
I am tired. And I also know that somebody else needs to learn what I do. Mm-hmm. I can't do it forever. So around Chapel, we're trying to bring in the next generation. So we're planning to bring in someone to learn what I do and to take over doing the tours. And that's that next generation that will have a job.
Do you guys think that crime will have an impact on your tourism?
Yes. And crime has an impact on our infrastructure. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because our Airbnb was broken into. Mm-hmm. And we had to close it down for a while.
A large part of what you're referring to is the lack of pride, right, in our own community. So we have got to make sure that we're reaching people in a different way and hopefully guiding them into either entrepreneurship or careers, because you're absolutely right. If people don't feel safe, they're not going to stay.
Now, crime is everywhere. It's not just Selma. And I don't let people talk to me about crime in Selma. And I said, well, how is it in your city? How many?
No, that's right.
You know, that's what I do, because I don't like that. If I'm going to love my city, then I'm going to love it with all of its faults.
Yes. And in so many ways, when you look at the systemic things that the laws, the policies, even some things that were removed from our city as a result of our role, especially during the voting rights movement, there are some things that have consistently happened that have almost been a form of punishment, but yet we continue to thrive. And so coming together like this, you know, is a great way for us to harvest those ideas and to nurture whatever it is that, and to create those opportunities for folks.
When I first arrived in Selma, I wanted to understand why the promises of civil rights equity felt at a standstill. But if you stick around for more than a photo op, you'll see with each generation, racial healing has been marching along one step at a time.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.